Hello everyone, welcome to Cam and I's second doubles round at Hodges Dam. It's been almost a year since we did this last, so we're very excited to get out here and see how we've improved. Our previous score was 4 down, so that's what we're looking to beat. Hodges Dam is a beautiful 13-hole property in Oxford, Massachusetts. Starting us off is hole 1 along the dam here. You really don't want to end up left. It sets up a really tricky approach shot. So if you can turn this over a bit to the right and land in the grass, you should have a look at the pin and not too bad of a 3, but birdie looks are pretty fleeting here. You gotta crest this hill. It takes quite a bit of power to get all the way down there. Cam's gonna start us off. We could see the trees blowing, but we couldn't really feel the wind here tucked back in the woods. So it's always sort of a guessing game on this first shot. Cam's Avenger SS right into a big headwind, flips over to the right. I try to make the adjustment with my Zeus hanging out a bit left, try to get to turn back to the right.
That was great.
Great adjustment, lands just at the top of the hill, gives us an easy approach shot where we can actually see the pin. A birdie look is pretty rare here. Cam gives it a good run from probably 70 or 80 feet at the top of the hill. I try to do the same thing. Doesn't quite get there, but easy tap in for the par. Definitely a good way to start off our round on one of the harder holes. Hole 2 is quite a bit easier. About 180 feet, right finishing. You're looking for a forehand or a backhand turnover here. Bunch of trees and branches to miss, but if you can get close, you should have a pretty open approach. A bit of a hill behind the basket gives you a backstop to run the putt. Cam's gonna take his Comet here with a little bit of Anheuser and turn it over. Gets through everything and lands about 20 feet right of the pin. I'm gonna give the forehand line a try here with my Prodigy A4. Good height. Hits one of the last branches you've got to miss. Falls about 50 feet short, so Cam's got this 20-footer. Takes his P1X and gives it a go. Nails it. Gives us the 2. Puts us 1 down after 2 holes. That's a great way to start. Hole 3, 280 feet. Pretty much dead straight through the woods here. You're really looking to avoid trees on both sides. The water is far enough to the right that it doesn't really come into play, but you definitely don't want to kick in either direction on this hole. If you look at the water on the right there, you can see the crosswind coming in pretty strong, so tricky to know what to do on the tee with that. I throw my A4 right into a high branch and fortunately rolls back into the fairway. Cam flips up his driver and unfortunately catches a tree on the left side here and kicks to the left. Really not a great kick. But we have this 100-footer or so. Try to give it a run for the birdie. I leave mine a little bit short. Cam really likes these long birdie runs. Nearly rings this one up, but I'll have to tap in the par here. 1 down through 3 is not a bad score. Going into the hardest hole on the course, hole 4. Lots of water on the right side. 365 is pretty far for a par 3, especially when you've got to finish to the right with water on the right the whole side. So we don't even try for the birdie on this one. We try to get as much distance as we can and just have an easy approach shot in for the par. Cam's going to throw his trusty Avenger SS again. Really nice hyzer flip here. Great safe shot to give us a look. Now that I know I've got the safe shot, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive here and try to get us some distance. Also a great release, avoids the water on the right side. About a 90-footer here. Cam takes his Comet on a little turnover line. Catches chains. Can't believe it didn't catch. I'm going to give it a try as well with my Berg on a very similar line. Also catch metal on the basket. Couldn't believe we didn't get that one with both of those runs, but Cam taps in the par. Still one down through 4. Hole 5's a big hyzer out of the woods, wide open. Not a lot to mess up here, but it can be windy and you can't feel it on the tee, so I go with my Felon. Gets a big lift from the wind. Comes up probably 50 feet short. Not a great disc choice here, but it's safe into the wind. Cam throws his Avenger SS, lots of flip and height on this one. Comes up just a little bit shorter than mine did. Have this 50-footer for the birdie look. Cam sails his P1X. I give it a shot as well. Good bit low, but pretty easy tap in for the par. Heading into hole 6. This is the second hardest hole on the course. 420 feet with probably a 15-foot uphill elevation change. Par 3, very long. Challenging to get a birdie look on this hole. Beautiful green tucked in the woods here with all the fall leaves in New England. I am throwing my Latitude 64 Royal Rive, hoping to turn this over to the right a little bit. Great throw off the tee, should give us a look. Cam has an awesome flip up on his Avenger SS.
Great drive.
Happy with his drive, but we take mine for a little bit more distance. Gives us a close look for 2. We were happy to be this close. Tough to see from this camera angle, but there's quite a drop off after the basket there, so we try to be a little bit conservative with our runs, but my disc lands close and gives Cam the green light to give this a shot. Neither of us are able to ring it up. Lots of birdie looks today, but unfortunately haven't capitalized on many of them so far. Cam taps us in, keeps us 1 down. Hole 7, you're throwing down this hill here on a pretty strong hyzer, and the basket is actually tucked to the right after, so there's really not a natural pure line on this hole here. You're just trying to get as left as you can to try to give yourself a safe run into the uphill backstop. Cam hangs his method out on a hyzer. This is a really great throw, gets around the tree. I am throwing my Discraft Malta. Gonna try to do the same thing Cam did. Comes out a little early and sails into the trees on the left. We got really lucky with that shot. It should not have got through as far as it did, but it gave us this 80-footer or so look for the birdie. Cam gives it a run. My bird comes out a little bit to the right. Easy tap in again. We'd like to really start picking up some birdies here if we want to beat our score from last year. Hole 8, the birdie is pretty much out of play, unfortunately. It's a total U-turn, so a forehand or a backhand turnover off the tee is what you're looking for, but it's really tricky to get anywhere close if you want to have a look at 2. I flick my A4. Nice line, but definitely not in play for the birdie. Cam actually gets his forehand even further to the right. He was really proud of that shot, so gives us an open look, but it's tough with all these small branches in your face here. I park my Berg, so gives Cam the green light to give this a run. Unfortunately, he's not able to ring it up, so we will remain 1 down. Hole 9 is one of my favorite holes on the course. You're throwing straight, looking for a bit of a backhand turnover on this one. The basket is a bit to the right after this down, up, downhill. The basket actually doesn't have a ton of elevation change against the tee, but you can see that there is a lot of elevation change on the fairway. I'm throwing a streamline lift. Gets a great turnover. Unfortunately, a late kick kicks it to the left. I was really happy with that out of my hand, so we were disappointed. Cam tries his Hades on a similar line. Looked great, caught a branch and kicked left down into the gully, so we take my shot here. Probably a 50-footer with a really low ceiling, so it was tricky. We had to kind of kneel or squat down to stay low enough to give this a run. Neither of us are able to get it, so Cam's going to tap in our par. Hole 10 is sort of a must-get. You're looking for a high stall hyzer here to penetrate into the trees on the left. If you can get through the trees, you should have a circle one look. Cam taking his trusted Avenger SS. Nice bit of hyzer, flips up. Great height to stall out and fall to the left, right near the pin. I'm going with my Malta. Just like last time, I let this Malta out way too early. Falls short into the trees on the left, so we take Cam's drive here and I go for the putt and get us in for the birdie. Finally, we are 2 down. Hole 11, definitely the signature hole out here at Hodges Dam. You're throwing across the inflow to the dam itself into a well-guarded green, which makes this a par 4 at 400 feet. You're really looking to get across the dam if you can here. Anywhere over there should give you a pretty good approach shot for the birdie look. Cam is actually going to lay this up short of the dam here. It's really important to have that layup shot so that if the second shot doesn't make it across the water, you can still have a good look from the layup shot. Despite the long distance and scary water, this is actually playing as one of the easier holes on the course. I rip on my Undertaker and get it across. Catch a high limb and fall down. Unfortunately rolls a little bit back to the right, which pinches off this run. We might have had an eagle look at this if that roll was a little bit different, but Cam's still able to give it a pretty good look for the eagle. Actually catches a little bit of metal there on the right side. This is actually one of the closest looks we've ever had for the eagle. Excited to be close, but unfortunately not able to capitalize on it. Cam taps us in for the birdie. Hole 12 is playing as the easiest hole on the course out here. The line that the drone is flying is actually not the line we're going to be throwing today. You can hyzer around the trees heading to the left like the drone did, or you can throw straight through the gap here. I throw my Berg, catch a high limb and fall down, probably about 50 feet out. You really need a little bit of turn on this one if you want to get through the trees. Cam takes his Comet. Great turnover. And finishes back, probably leaves us with about a 20-footer. This is to tie our previous round. And I sink it, so heading into hole 13, we're hoping for anything under par here so that we can beat our previous round at 4 down. Really long par 5, 615 feet uphill the whole way into a pretty open green here. You want to avoid the trees on the left and you want to avoid the rocks on the right. Neither of them are out of bounds, but they set up a tricky lie to get the power that you need to get all the way down there. Cam's Avenger gets us in a great spot. Open look for our second shot. I am going with my Latitude 64 Royal Rive again. This was crushed. I was actually nervous that it didn't get past these logs, and if it was stuck on the right side, we wouldn't have a good lie. No run-up, but it did skip out to the road, so we had a great run-up. This is about 290 feet into the pin on the left there, so really great drive. Cam gives it a great toss for the approach, probably about 60 feet short. skips down the hill on the left there. I make the correction with my undertaker and hang it out right. Skips in, and we're about 19 feet out for the eagle putt. So at this point, we already know that we've beat our previous year's round, but try to cash this eagle in and set our new doubles best. And I'm able to do it, so we finish 6 down. Really happy to come out here at Hodges Dam one last time in the year, play such a great round. Looking forward to doing more of these, maybe at some different courses. Thanks for watching.